The sweeper parts and service manual is attached to the upright bar. For shipping ease, the power angle sweeper is shipped to you in a crate. After removal from the crate, place on 4 stands. Move the sweeper head attaching plate in the vertical position on a floor jack. Remove the 3 scissor frame nuts, lock washers, and flat washers. Leave the bolts protruding through the scissor frame. Match the scissor frame to the sweeper head. Install the flat washers, lock washers, and hex nuts. Make sure scissor frame and sweeper head are even before tightening the nuts. Install sweeper head lift cylinder, pin, and hairpin. Lower scissor frame till it is horizontal and hold in place with the safety chain. Remove the 3 push frame nuts and lock washers. Attach the push frame to the scissor frame. Install the lock washers and nuts on the inside of the scissor frame. Snug up the center bolt. Utilizing the 2 adjusting bolts, center the push frame to the scissor frame. When we mention centering, we mean an even amount of space from edge to edge. For example, we have 1 inch of clearance between the scissor frame and the push frame bracket on the left and on the right. Next, install the pattern adjustment chain, and we suggest starting out at about the 3rd or the 4th link. The power angle sweeper has 8 grease fittings that need to be greased on a daily basis. 1 on the swing cylinder, the scissor frame, front of the scissor frame, and the opposite side, the head attachment plate, and 1 on the shaft bearing. Before we hook the sweeper up to the tractor, we would like to draw your attention to the push frame lock bolts. We will refer to these bolts later on, however, they will be very difficult to see. To install the sweeper, lock the lift latches in the open position. Carefully drive the tractor into the push frame. Close and lock the lift latches. Install the tractor supplied top link. Insert the pins and linch pins. For the suitable punch, adjust the top link until the scissor frame arms are parallel to the ground. It may be necessary to adjust the previous mentioned push frame adjusting bolts. These bolts may be stopping the adjustment of the scissor frame arms from being parallel to the ground. Once the scissor frame is level, lock the gem nut and secure with hammer. Next, adjust the push frame lock bolts tight against the bottom of the cab. And secure with the jam nut. The purpose of this is so the complete push frame is mounted solid to the bottom of the tractor cab. Remove the motor drive hose snap ties. Feed the hoses through the support bracket. If the tractor is equipped with the optional pump and valve, which is recognized by the large blue and small white coupler on the left or door side of the tractor, hook the blue and white couplers to these fittings. White to white and blue to blue. If the tractor does not have an optional pump, install the blue and white motor hoses to the right side of the tractor. Blue and white. If the right blue and white couplers are used, you cannot use the rear blue and white couplers. In other words, you cannot sweep and sand at the same time. Next, hook the black and red scissor frame hoses to the right side of the cab. Black to black and red to red. Hook the yellow and black sweeper lift cylinder hoses to the left side. Black to black and yellow to yellow. For any sweeper operation, the internally wired dummy plug must be installed with the tab facing up. Start the tractor and raise the sweeper head. Raise all four stands. Sweeper bristles are considered worn out at approximately 4.5 inches from the disc. With the safety chain undone and the sweeper turned on, slowly lower the head in the float position. Raise the sweeper and back up. There should be approximately a 5 to 7 inch pattern with no taper from end to end. Next, with the far right lever, angle the head to one side and check the pattern again. Raise the sweeper and check for taper. Angle the sweeper the opposite way and check the third pattern. The pattern should be parallel from end to end. As you can see, we have a slight taper in our center pattern. This should be adjusted according to the manual. To adjust the sweeper pattern, loosen off the backstops, the push frame bolts, and adjust the threaded bolts as required. In some instances, it may also be necessary to adjust the top link up or down. Double check the pattern afterwards. If the sweeper pattern is wider than 8 inches, the sweeper bristles will be forced backwards and extreme wear will occur. The bristles are meant to flick the debris. The pattern width is adjusted with the right chain and spring. The longer this chain is, the wider the pattern will be. On the other hand, the shorter this chain is, the narrower the pattern will be. In sweeping mode, make sure the safety chain is in one of the last links to assure lots of slack. However, for travel, raise the sweeper head cylinder all the way and install the safety chain in the nearest link. Do not travel with the head in the float position. Always park the sweeper head on the 4 stands provided. We are now ready to start sweeping. With the engine at idle, turn on the PTO. To start the sweeper, lock the rear wall mounted lever in the up position. Angle the sweeper head, up for left, down for right. Take the center forward facing lever, push down in the float position, which lowers the head, and regulate the sweeper RPM with the engine throttle. Using the right lever, lift up to angle the sweeper to the left. Push down will angle to the right. To lower the sweeper head, lock the center facing lever in the float position. Start the sweeper with the appropriate lever, and remember, never apply down pressure. If the tractor is not equipped with an optional pump and valve, the sweeper is started by pulling up on the rearward facing lever beside the seat. Always aim the debris to a safe location. In heavy or wet conditions, it may be necessary to make a second pass. A water tank and spray bar kit can be added for dusty conditions. And remember, while operating the sweeper, always keep well away from all rotating parts.